Singer High Friends reunion.
Okay, so there is a flyer on the class reunion, Sanger High School class reunion page on Facebook. There is a reunion that's taking place, I think, on today, and it's all kids that went to Sanger High School, from what I understand. I read the flyer, and that's all I could figure out. But it just, it just happened to pop up, and I'm glad it did, because it got everybody kind of excited, and they're starting to pay attention. So people go to that, and it'll be a great opportunity for us kids from 84 to make sure the 83 and the 85 group know to join us at homecoming on the 20th. So a couple of big things this month for Sanger High School graduates.
New high school or old high school?
Old high school. I don't believe in new high school. It doesn't exist for me.
For us old people.
That's a different plane of existence I don't even know or identify with. So anyhow, looks like Charlene Hitchcock's jumping out of the shower. She's going to join us. Edith, how are you?
Do what?
Oh, I'm saying hi to Edith. She might not be able to mic up. And let's see.
Okay.
I'm doing fine. I'm listening. I'm in the car. I'll be home soon, but
okay,
I am listening.
Sounds good. Well, you and I need to connect on some other things. We've got some similar thought processes going on. I've always known it, but anyhow. And then I'm trying to okay, so Mogawa, tell me who you are, because I don't remember you. You're looking like some sexy hot cougar, and I don't remember you as a teenager. Sorry. Oops, you got turn your mic on.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Okay. Can you see? You can see me and hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
It's Michelle Grugian.
Oh my God, Michelle!
Right here.
You've got your hair all blondied out. No wonder.
Well, it covers the gray a lot better. So that's.
Well, now I get the M. Ogawa. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. Some things never change.
Michelle.
Some things never change.
Hi, Marvin. Hi, Edith.
How are you? Good. How are you?
Hi.
Good. Doing good.
Well,
I'm glad to see all of you. It's been a long time since we've talked.
Yes,
and Brian, thank you for bringing us together. We've been talking about it for months, and
oh yeah.
you were the doer, so thank you.
Well, I thought there's no way I'm going to miss this time. I mean, the last couple times we've had like the day of, some client emergency came up. I'm like, damn it, or some family emergency came up, or I stubbed my toe or something really important like that and I missed. But I thought I'm not going to miss it this time. And then because it changed from, I originally thought it was October 4th, 5th, and 6th. I'm like, right on, I can do that. And then it changed to the 20th. I'm like, damn, I can't. So I figured just follow through, do this, because those of you who can't go, I want to see you go. I want to see the pictures and all that stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that date doesn't work out for you. The 4th through the 6th, I wouldn't have been able to go. So I was like, when I saw that date, I was like, oh crap. But so it worked out for me.
Well, maybe I can have one. What we do at the conventions for my company is we do pictures of people's faces. We carry them around on sticks for people who couldn't be there. We'll have to have
awesome.
Maybe I can figure out how to get that done fast. But that'll be fun. And then something else that came up that I think will be kind of cool. A good friend of mine from Orange Beach, Alabama, was telling me about a program where people can take pictures from the event and all load them into one thing. And I don't know how all that works, but I'm going to get some information about that so people who do attend can post all their photos, and everybody like myself who won't be able to be there can see them. And
so I did that for our outsiders trip, and I'm sure there's much fancier ways. I'm not really up on the latest tech, but what I did was upload it in Google Photos. So every event that we've had before, during, and after, I just go and upload it, and then you just share the link. And like I said, I'm sure there's much fancier ways, but it's a way for everyone to access universally, all the, and to like you said, anyone can upload their pictures. And I even stole pictures because everybody was like kind of dragging their feet. So I just started going on their Facebook pages and pulling off all their, so I created this really nice, collection of photos from that trip, which was a great memory.
Awesome. I think I wanted to go to that too. And I'm getting to a point in my life since last year where I'm thinking, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do this. And I don't know if I can do you know, these things that I want to do have to be more important than work. And I don't know. I don't know how all the rest of you are, but at almost 58, I'm hearing my ticker count now, and I'm thinking experiences rather than
Hey, Brian,
obligations
you
might
need
not be.
splitting yourself in half.
What's that?
You need splitting yourself in half.
Well, you
Yeah.
know, Bewitched was of our generation. As much as I've been twitching my nose the last 40 years, I haven't been able to be in two places at once yet. Michelle, how is your little sister?
She's doing great. She's
Awesome.
well, health-wise, not so great. She's got
Oh,
some health issues, but you know, life-wise, you know, it's just a bump in the road and she's doing good. I was gonna say, you have or I don't know if your brother still lives in Wildwood, but my older sister was his neighbor for quite some time, her and her husband. And she passed away. I had one sister that passed away. She graduated the same year as your brother, so they knew each
oh,
other.
wow.
But yeah, the younger sister. But again, like you said, you know, those kinds of things really make you kind of reevaluate it, you know, and
Yeah.
so yeah.
You know, I was reading through some of the old posts that Nancy and Andy put up when they were trying to put together 35, and it just made me start thinking, you know, even 5 years ago, I still felt kind of bulletproof. And then 2 years ago, the old style bulletproof vest failed. So, and then and then just being aware of all the kids that we went to school with, and I mean, I think all of us from Lone Star had a huge wake up call with Christy. And
Oh,
oh, damn. And so anyway, you know, I think as we all kind of go into our later years, which I can't believe, having these gatherings to me is going to be more and more important, because I don't know if everybody thinks like I do, but I just feel like all you kids are my family. And I love being able to be in touch with you through Facebook, even if it's just to see a photograph or some stupid thing. I try to not pay attention to the things that make my blood boil, but you know, just scroll, right? No need to argue,
yeah.
just scroll. But I just have so many fond memories of your little sister. I just thought she was the cutest
Aw.
thing, calling her little groupie, and she'd get all shy.
She was very shy. She's not shy anymore. But I'll share that with her. We're going to a 90th, a cousin's 90th birthday this afternoon, so she'll be there, and I'll share that with her.
Oh my
That'll
God.
brighten her day.
Good deal.
Yeah,
Good deal.
the little cat. She actually Jennifer McComb. Her dad used to call Kathy the caboose because she was just always following us around, trailing like
I
60
love it.
pounds away.
I love it. I love it.
So yeah, good memories. But getting back to the outsiders thing, so that was so special. We ended up with, between family and friends and everything, there were 26 of us that went on that trip. And you want to talk about a bonding experience, you know, it's kind of funny because before we left for New York, we all got together, well, those of us that could, and we went to Lone Star and took pictures. And it was like, it was really like no time had gone by. We were just like those Lone Star kids again, you know?
Yeah.
So the good news is that the musical, which was amazing, by the way, and to do that with Joellen was just like over the top, full circle, you know. They're starting their traveling tour in Tulsa. And so we're going to be planning another trip. It'll be in the fall of 2025. So about a year from now. They said September, October. They don't have dates, but as soon as we get the dates, I'm already.
Uh-oh. Is that me or did
I
Michelle?
don't hear. I think she
Oh,
broke
shoot.
away.
Well, you know, the wonders of electronics. That's what happened to my hairdo, you guys. Electronics made me lose my
Yeah,
hair.
be looking for that.
Okay. So you
Hey,
went
you guys, I need to sign off
okay.
and I need to go back to work.
Good to
Good
see
to
you,
see you,
Marvin.
Marvin.
I'm glad
All
you
right.
Hope to
stepped
see you in a
in.
few weeks.
You know what we should do before I let you guys go? We should do just a Lone Star gang call
We could do that.
and see
Yeah.
who would like to do it.
I'm sure a lot of folks would.
maybe we can talk about it at the reunion and get a group thing.
All right.
I'd be
Okay,
happy to
Marv.
help with that too.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Take care, Marv.
Bye,
All right.
Marvin.
I will see you guys on Facebook.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Edith, what junior high school did you go to?
Washington.
Oh, you were a Washington girl. You know,
Yes,
it's
I
so funny. All
was.
us country kids came in, and I went to school at Jackson, so I K through 6 at Jackson, so I knew a lot of the town kids. But then I wound up going to Lone Star. I could have gone to Fairmont, Washington, or Lone Star because the buses all came at that. I was at that 3 point, and some good friends I know had gone to Lone Star, and they always talked about Miss D and Miss Steele and Mrs. Thompson and Mr. Kirshner and all these people. I thought that's where I'm going to go. So I did. So when I finally hit freshman year, it was like coming back to see all the kids that I'd grown up with. And then Taft converged with Jackson, I think my 5th grade year. So I just feel like I know all you kids. We didn't get to spend a whole lot of time together in high school, but I remember you being so damn kind. And that beautiful smile you still have, I just love
I
it.
know, gosh.
Thank you. I was one of those kids that just like to hang around with the popular kids because they just put themselves out there. But I was sharing with somebody recently that, our class was like 244. I mean, I'm not sure the exact number, but it was so small. And just realizing that if you didn't meet in elementary, most kids met in junior high, right? Which is not like middle school, and if you didn't meet there, then everybody met in high school. And so you spent 4 years together. And the classes today in Fresno, like 600 kids, 700 kids. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I went to a small town.
Yeah, me too. Me
Yes. So Brian, I heard about this reunion tonight, and it didn't give any specifics on which classes were going together. And I was talking to Alicia Cifuentes and Elena Cifuentes, if you guys remember you. Yeah, I was like, I don't think I want to go because what if this is like a 10-year, 15-year reunion, and then I'm like the 58-year-old woman coming in, and I'm like, okay, this is not my crowd, so I decided not to go. I'll
My
just wait for
husband,
ours.
my husband went to Singer also, and one of his friends said that his mom is going. So to me, it sounds multi-generational, like it could, like literally anybody. It was kind of kind of vague as far, but I think maybe that was intentional just so that anybody who went to Singer. And I have a cousin who, do you remember Ann Garabedian, Brian, the bus driver? Okay, she's my aunt. She was my aunt, and her son, Johnny, my cousin, he went to Sanger and he graduated probably, a decade or more before us. But his group, they get together once a month. Wow. And they literally just go around to a different restaurant and, and I thought, dang, that is so cool.
It really is.
Do it, once a month. It's a pretty big group. We went one time and there was like 30, 40 people there between, spouses and whatnot. So, but yeah, I think this is maybe just, for any generation that just.
Well, I decided the people I reached out to that I still connect with from Sanger, and nobody was going. In fact, most people didn't know that it was even going on. So I thought, well, I mean, I'm looking forward to the one on the 20th, I think you said, Brian, and I don't have the calendar in front of me, but is that a Friday, or are we doing a Friday all together, or is there a Saturday? I'm a little confused about what it is that you're trying to do.
Yeah, it's still very formative, Edith. Kind of what happened is we had a lot of folks inquiring over the last few months, actually about a year, I think, Michelle, and well, I keep calling her Buffy. She calls herself Robin. She's gonna box my ears next time she sees me. But she'll always be Buffy to me.
That's right. That's right.
Buffy and I were talking, and Jen Lewis and I had spoken several years ago, and we thought, what if we did something that was more family oriented, that was not so high stress and so burdensome on Andy and Nancy putting it together, because they've got to find an event and find a place and entertainment, and what's the food going to be? Is it going to be formal and all that stuff? And it's
And
a
then
lot.
you don't get enough people to go,
Yeah.
which could be end up costing, being a negative.
Yeah, yeah, and I feel badly that I didn't do more to step in before, and I thought, and I stay in touch with Andy periodically, once in a while. He and I have to gang up on somebody that gangs up on him in social media, but I think he told me that he I don't actually, I think it was a mutual friend of his and mine that told me that he wasn't feeling well, and that maybe this stress of putting together a 40th might not be the best thing for him. And I thought, well, hell, we can put this together. So what we Robin and I think it was Lynette Carter came up with the idea of doing it homecoming weekend to make it simple. So if all it wound up being was all of us being at homecoming game, that would be brilliant. And I pushed it to the next level and said, can we please invite 83 and 85 then? Because so many of those kids were just, I mean, they're like family to me, just absolute family.
It's true. I mean, I hung out with Vicky, Pat
Oh, God.
Gonzalez, Alicia, Yu's sister is still my best friend, and we've been best friends since I was like 12. So yeah, I told her she should go.
Yeah, totally.
I
Like,
need a date, so she's got to go.
well, there's nothing I'd like better than to see Vicky Martinez and give her a great big hug. When social media came up, I started reconnecting with everybody and just typing in memories. Christy Uramian used to always tell me, how do you remember all this stuff? I'm like, how do you not?
I know. It's like I just
amazing.
said earlier. You met in elementary, junior high, and then eventually in high school. And so you spent quite a bit of time with the people from Sanger or any of the surrounding communities. So you're thinking homecoming and potentially something else. It's homecoming on a Friday or Saturday?
Yeah, it's a Friday.
So
That's what I
Friday
was
night.
thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Buffy had said to keep it simple so everybody could get there on a Friday. Predominantly meet up for the varsity game, and I thought, well, don't forget JV. but I suppose people could come. Frank, I think Frankie's doing some stuff. I think he's working with some local businesses for meetup
Mhm.
places where people can go to meetup places after. And so,
Okay.
Edith, I know it sounds kind of crazy, but kind of like Michelle's story about is it your husband?
Uh-huh.
No, not married.
Okay, so
Oh,
you
sorry.
married Tim Ogawa?
Him, yeah.
Oh, I remember Tim. Okay,
Jim's brother. We
Jim.
graduated with Jim.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, they're
So
2 years apart. He graduated 82, my husband.
okay,
Jim
okay,
graduated our same year.
okay. But we can kind of make it what we want it to be. Me and Ed's was always the hangout afterwards. I mean, there's going to be
Yeah.
people. So I think I've been messaging Frank to maybe connect with a few key places in town so people don't have to drive too far. And
Mhm. That's a good idea.
and people can just kind of choose where they want to go, but have the business owners there understand that people will be coming, and that way they're not blindsided when a group of 40 of us or 60 of us walk.
Right.
And plus all the traditional kids. I assume that after football games, families still go to me and Ed's. I assume they do that. I don't know. And then Friday night was just going to be something of that nature. And Michelle, you and I had kind of bantered about the possibilities of something in the evening on Saturday, and it sounded like some people wanted to do it, but I don't know if we're going to have time to formulate that. What are your thoughts?
I think this late in the game, like if we had planned it sooner, I think you need time, to plan and get, give people time to RSVP and then I'm not sure that at this point in the game, we would have time to do something formal.
Right.
That's why I really like the idea of the game. And then, at first I was thinking, oh my gosh, we're going to come together on this and we're going to start planning. But man, when I read through your notes, I was like, dang, he's already done a lot of, the legwork. And I really like the way that's laid out. If anything, I think that next day it would be awesome to do like a family thing, like you said, and just even if it's at Woodward Park and somewhere that we don't have to have like
That's a really good idea.
yeah, like a commitment and a cost. You
You could even do it for those who do want to go with like just bringing up to feed yourself
right.
and a guest. and then everybody just puts it in, and then everybody, as long as we have the means to do like a cookout, because I would guess that the temperature is going to be better, right, by the 20th. And
Hopefully.
then, and then if those who want to come, and then it can just be like a big barbecue, and if anybody wants to bring like some type of games or something like that, we can do.
Right.
It could be very easy. I agree with that. The only problem is the location at the park. And then maybe if somebody was willing to inquire whether we can reserve a spot, because I think a reservation at Woodward Park or any other park, it's not expensive,
Yeah,
so.
I've reserved there for a family event. It was years ago, but nonetheless, it was a little bit crazy because we reserved our spot, but when we got there, somebody was there. And so I was trying to get a hold of the parks, to find out what do we do. And they basically said, well, there's nothing we can do about it. And I was like, well, then what's the point of making a reservation, So I didn't have a real good experience, but again, that was years ago. I basically jumped on because I'm willing to help do whatever legwork needs to get done. And since I'm here local, Brian, it's easier for me to probably make some of those connections. So I'm more of the workhorse piece of this. Whatever suggestions or ideas you guys have,
Well,
I'm happy to make phone calls and.
I think another option could be if you don't mind checking in on the Woodward Park situation, and then how maybe somebody on a Friday before the game could, put a sign on the table or
Uh-huh.
wherever we decide, just to say this is reserved, reserved for that day, for the
Yeah.
21st. And then this way, if anybody does attempt to come sit, there'll be some kind of flyer or something
Yeah.
on there. I think that might be a good idea. I can't think of anything else outside of a park. I mean, it doesn't have to be Woodward. It could be another park, but where we really wouldn't have to put a big down payment. But I think just sending out the word on Friday, hey, we're having a big barbecue. Just bring enough food to feed yourself and your guest if you're bringing somebody. And then we're just gonna, put it all together, or, I think that there's grills all over the park.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, so just making sure we know where. And then the people who are planning, like ourselves and anybody else that's not on this call, we could make sure that we have utensils, for the barbecue, charcoal. So those main things that you're
Right.
gonna need.
Condiments and whatnot.
Yeah, napkins, condiments. I don't necessarily know that we need cups if people are gonna bring, everybody's gonna bring enough for yourself. Bring a 12-pack of soda or whatever it is that you want to drink is fine.
Right.
But I think that at least for me, even though I'll probably be just coming with myself, maybe Alicia, I'll bring enough to feed 6 people. That's just because that's what Mexicans do. They always cook too much.
And here's
Always
a
cook too-
thought. What about like just at Sanger High? Like, there's all those big the old Sanger High. Like out front where we had our little overnights there when we were seniors, right? And there's like space there. I mean, maybe it's just.
Do they have a grill
somewhere-
area there?
I live just down the street from there and we could probably accommodate. In fact, a friend of Tim's has one of those big, huge grills that, we could, he's like a master barbecuer.
Yeah, and see, that's the big thing is can you accommodate enough like grills? We would need at least 2 big grills.
Right.
If people are going to show up with their partners or even their kids. And then a regular grill like that we use at our home might not be enough.
There's that park
But
right across the street from the old high school. And I
I
don't know if
think
it has grills.
Yeah, the only thing is, how many people still live in Sanger, you know? I don't know if people have kind of migrated more to Fresno over the years and it might be more convenient. I think
Fresno.
I'm open to either one. I don't care where we hold it. I'll go to either one. I'm just trying to think is what's gonna get people to attend, you know, if it's in Sanger or if it's in Fresno or if it doesn't matter, you know. I'm open to whatever. But I love that idea of doing it at the park because it doesn't require any commitment, financial commitment, you know, and I think people will be open, you know, if money is tight for somebody, they can just show up or just bring a bag of potato chips, you know.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be, you know, costly for people. Just bring whatever you want to bring, you
Okay,
know.
I froze up. Sorry, so I missed the last couple
No,
of.
I was just the nice thing about doing it at the park is doesn't have to cost a lot of money if anybody
Yeah.
is, you know, tight on money. You can bring whatever you want. A bag of
Yeah.
chips is fine, you know, a bag of salad, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Michelle, there's a couple things that I can check in on. My family were longtime members of the Eagles Lodge, and I know they have those great big portable grills because they used to do those great big giant barbecues every year out at Lincoln Park. Some of my favorite memories. And it was just simple. They did big potluck, but you know, if everybody like Edith, I think that's a great idea. We can come up with some clever name like Ice Chest Barbecue Gathering or something. And I've always loved the idea of having our reunion in a park in town if we could, and if not, close by. There's Clovis Lakes, there's Woodward Park. I don't know that I want to hang out at Roding Park, but I
Yeah.
was there,
We're
I got
good.
shot
We're good.
at.
Although I was just realizing I don't mean to be a flake, but my brother who lives in London, he also went to Sanger High. He's a 1982 graduate.
Wow.
Anyways, my brother lives in London and he's only comes down, you know, maybe once a year. He's going to be down that weekend. So,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, that's the only thing that's going to maybe prevent me from going. But if we're not doing anything, I might just invite him to come.
Have him come.
Yeah, I'll just tell him,
I'm
hey,
bringing.
come see a bunch of Sanger people.
Yeah,
He
well,
probably would.
my
He's a
husband
very famous
graduated.
photographer in London,
Oh,
so
my
they
husband graduated in 82, so he'll be there.
yeah, if we're not doing anything as a family, you know how it is. It's like you gotta the family thing, right? But if we're not doing anything that Saturday, I might just tell him come with me, you know, so that you can see a bunch of people. He probably
How
would do
fun.
that, just if anything for the food.
Well, I'm really hoping that's what happens. When I think Jennifer Lewis and I were talking about for maybe our 20 year doing a picnic, and obviously that blew by in a blink of an eye. But and the thought was, yeah, and people can bring their kids, and now we can bring our grandkids. I have
Grandkids, yeah.
godsons, but I will not subject you guys to Jeremiah.
No, I love that idea. I think that, in fact, after this call, I'm going to send my brother a text and tell him, look, if we do anything, can you just maybe not do it on the 20th?
Right, right.
Because I want to go. I mean, I just want you guys to know, but I was just thinking, oh my gosh, you know how family is. They're going to be like, I can't believe you're not going to be here when Tony's here.
Yeah, bring them
I
out.
think that's one of the big things that we first need to do is get something out to see who would be interested. And that's kind of how I started the Outsiders trip, is I just sent out the information on social media, asked people to share, gave a deadline, and I think I actually put a link to I created a survey. And so I started basing it on that interest list. And then you kind of, have an idea of
Ooh.
how many you're planning for,
Oh,
because it's
that's
a
a
lot of
great
work
idea.
to do for people that can't, especially this late in the game, that already have something planned and can't make it, even if they would like to attend. I know for me, I panic because like literally every weekend there's something this month. So it worked out good for me, but it might not work out so good for others. So I don't know, Brian, do you want me to do something like that, or you have more far reaching, I could create a survey and send it to you, and then if you want to blast it out.
I think there's a way to do that on Facebook, right? Where people can
Yeah,
just click on interested.
Yeah,
you know,
Yeah, we
and
can create an event. Yeah.
I think the more casual, the more likely you're going to get people to even just show up, because as long as it's understood, hey, just bring enough for yourself. Don't worry about anybody else. Just bring enough for yourself, and then
right.
everybody knows that there'll be enough for themselves, and nobody feels like they're responsible for bringing a big chunk of food or drink.
Right. Right.
And
Yeah,
then doing it, you know, but in September 20th, the sun's going to start going down earlier. I don't know when the time changes, but I think maybe 1 o'clock, 1 to 3 or 1 to 4. I think is a good commitment for people, because they're not taking up their mornings or their evenings. You know, it's just a good window, 1 to 4. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I
Not
like
too
that.
early, not too late, for those people who don't want to
Right.
eat breakfast but want to hurry up and get something.
Right.
well, that's a good idea, because then after 4 o'clock, there might be some folks that want. My thought is that people are going to kind of group together as they recall and
Right.
the other people in and make plans to go out and do things
Hey,
and
I do have a question though, Brian. Do you remember that big picture that we would take by the bleachers in our senior year?
yeah.
We should do something like that at the park. Like
Oh,
just
okay.
get a wide angle, picture of everybody.
I think Kinko's does those, or Quick Signs. I'm
So
taking.
another thing that we could do, I've been to enough family reunions. If you're class of 1983, you wear this color. 1984, you wear this color. 1985, you're this, this kind of, so that people know what year you graduated. If we're gonna do 83 to 85, we can do red, white, and blue to stay in the colors of the high school,
That's kind
something
of a
like that.
good
I
idea.
think, yeah, I like that idea too. This people don't ask you like, what year did you graduate? If you're wearing a specific color, you're that class.
And then if they're white,
Easier to identify.
they can wear some kaleidoscope thing, because we can't remember for sure which month which year we graduated.
Any other classes outside of 83 to 85? Maybe you just wear a different color. I don't know. I
Make them
think that's
work.
a good way to get people to, just to come prepared.
Make them try to find a Ghostbuster shirt or something to wear.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay if we don't do that. We can do a theme,
Sure.
a different kind of theme. But if we do a theme for every class, it's easier to identify and connect, because people have changed quite a bit, right?
Well, look at me. I mean, I don't look like I did at all.
I don't look like I did either.
I well, you didn't even recognize me, so clearly I don't look like I did.
Well, I
You know,
remember you had dark hair but no glasses. So if you didn't have,
Yeah.
how
Oh,
did
the
you look?
glasses came
well,
on
you
at
have to go
50.
back to the yearbook. I know
Yeah.
that there was it's just that a lot of us didn't really hang out together, but we saw each other, right? We
Right.
knew who you were. We just didn't hang out. And I left for 29 years. So if it weren't for Alicia, I probably wouldn't know where everybody is at, because she
Yeah.
has remained in the area. But I've been back in Fresno now for 12 years. So who would have thought? But here I am.
Well, and Brian, my best friend is Jean and Ann. So she didn't go to Sanger High, but I know she'll want to come to the to anything she could make, because again, we're like a little Lone Star family.
Yeah. Well,
So,
I threw it out there. I know the site doesn't get used, or the group doesn't get used a whole lot, so it's not on everybody's radar. If people are like me, you've got 168 groups that you have to be in and a handful
right.
you have to manage. In my case, for business mostly. So people aren't coming, and a lot of people aren't on social media either. But I 100% believe in, look, if their kids, because a lot of the kids we went to school with at Lone Star went to different
That's close.
junior highs, like Gina, let's see, Lisa Schladewitz, we have
I work with Lisa.
and let's see, oh my gosh, Diana Pierce. I mean, they're
Mhm.
and Brian Magnuson. I mean, these kids
Yeah.
are. Edith, I don't know how it was at Washington, obviously, because I didn't go, but I went to Jackson and I knew the Taft kids, and from like three, well, yeah, I was three. I was 4 when I started school, so 4 to 6th grade, and they were my family. The Gonzalez
Yeah,
kid.
it was like that too. And I think Washington was had a little bit more students, right? Just
Yeah.
because, yeah. But yeah, I grew up knowing people from 7th grade all the way to my senior year.
Yeah.
Even though I like right now, I really only stay connected with Vicky, Nancy, and Yu
Yeah.
because of Alicia. So I'm with Alicia, and if she invites me to family function, there's you know.
I love that.
Yeah. So hey, let's just focus on next steps. Um, if we can maybe make a decision. Do we have a theme? And then we can just show some interest. Either we pick a topic or we pick a color. I think would be. I'm open to whatever. And then let's follow up on the park. And Brian, are you going to check in with Frank on whether or not we can potentially reserve Mianettes? I think Mianettes would be a great idea. I love that idea.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
haven't been to that Mianettes in forever, but every time I go to Sanger, I'm like, wow, I can't, it's just crazy. It's still there.
Well, my whole life I've been looking for a place that's comparable. Have not yet.
Yeah,
Although it
there
looks like
won't
maybe.
be.
There's
It
also
was
Sanger
similar to-
Park. If you guys don't want, if you do want to do it Sanger, you know, there's Sanger Park, which is pretty big. I don't know, maybe connecting with Frank on that as well, you know.
Yeah,
Is
Frankie's
he
our
is he a
hookup.
mayor? Is he the mayor or
Yeah.
is he is?
Both.
Okay.
He's the mayor and he's running for re-election.
Okay, because I wasn't
Yeah.
sure. I was a little confused on whether or not he got reelected. All
I
right,
think it's
what do
coming
you
up in
need?
November.
What else can I do? I can maybe potentially check on music. Does anybody know a DJ? I can ask around.
Well, I don't. I know we have a lot of kids that are musicians, and I thought, well, I'm going to ask those guys to bring their instruments, and maybe they'll just do a jam. But organized music is not a bad idea. You know, there's
My partner's in a band, I could see, but it would probably cost money, although they're not professional yet, but they're pretty good. They do play everything old
that's
school.
okay. Well, you know, don't let finances be a obstacle. If something comes up, just let me know. I have some resources I can tap into with folks that want to see us have a good time. So
Do you want me to ask? I can do the music side of it. I can check on DJs and I can I mean I can check with my partner. He, like I said, he plays rock, like classic rock, but they do some dance stuff too. So I mean I could check in with that or somebody else. Would you like me to do that?
I like that idea. You know, I think if we all bring our resources, we're going to come with some pretty cool stuff. Having some people that can be sort of touchstones on the steering committees for the event. I hate titles like that, but that would be awesome. You know, as long as we get a
Okay,
little bit of
I'll
the
ask
neighborhood.
around. A DJ is easy only because they play everything, right? And we could just recommend that play anything in the 80s, the 90s, or something like that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay,
All
and I
right,
will
I'll do
check
that.
I'll check on Woodward Park on what we need for reservation, right? Are we still doing that?
Yes.
I think
Okay.
Do Woodward Park and Sanger Park.
Sang
I would
so
do
when you say
both,
Sanger
yeah.
Park, which park? Can you give
On
me
Academy,
that's the
towards
one I
like where
go.
the supermarket was. Yeah. That's what
Okay.
it's called, right? Isn't it called
Yeah.
Sanger Park or is it called
Yeah,
something
but
else?
I live in Sanger and I wouldn't recommend that park. It's like
Okay,
a
well
lot
then
of homeless
we
people
don't.
hang out there. It's kind
Okay,
of
then
gone
let's
downhill.
just.
Yeah, there's some new neighborhood parks because they've had a lot of growth and building. I'm just not real familiar, but Frankie might have a good suggestion for an alternative in town park. So maybe Brian, since you have the connects with Frankie, could you ask him about that? And I will still check on Woodward Park just to see you know, what's involved with reserving. And that would be then on Saturday, September 21st, right?
Yes,
First,
yes.
yes.
Okay.
Like,
And then
And
Brian,
just
do you
keep in mind, I don't know, when you call, I just don't know how early somebody has to get there. But I'm guessing that if we just put a sign and flyers or something that we could stick to the ground saying reserve for
Yeah.
September
They
21st.
put a little reserve sign up on their wall, of the canopies. But
Okay.
again, if somebody comes and sits there, you have to have a way to hey, we reserved it. And that didn't work too well for me. Eventually it did work out, but it was just unpleasant, to have to deal with that.
I think we could
Um,
do some stand-up caricatures of Charlene Hitchcock with her military issue gun, and
There
we
you
could put
go.
a caption, "Back off, bitches. There's some badass
Yes.
boys and girls coming Saturday. Don't
You
mess."
know what else
I love it.
I don't know who's going to send out the Facebook thing, but another option is maybe one of our class members, plays in a band, and that would even be better, is to hear somebody from our class,
Yeah,
playing. So I think that would be a good idea too, before we commit to, outside resources. Maybe somebody says, "Hey, I'm in a band."
well, I
I'm
know
like, "Come
John
and play."
Lacy and Ted Bagget and Kevin McHatton and Michael Bowers. They're not all in the same band, but they're all musicians. I thought
Oh,
it
wow.
what made me think about that was years ago, we got Ted and his friends. I think it was his brother and two of the other class members from Lee's year, and they did a pretty good job at one of our rallies, and they played "What I Like About You" by the Ramones. They were
Oh,
good.
how fun. How fun.
Oh, so put that on if you're gonna send this out on Facebook, just put out a shout out that we're looking for any of our classmates who are potentially in a band that could come play for
Yeah.
the picnic.
Yeah. And
I
I
think
know
that
there's
would be a
gonna be
good
a lot
idea.
of people that say, "Why didn't you guys do something earlier? Why didn't you let me know earlier?" And so, I'll try to keep my composure, because my bullshit meter is at overflows. It's like,
Don't
Yeah.
worry about that,
yeah.
Brian. You know what? No one's asking you to buy a ticket, so don't worry
No,
about it, right?
so
It's not going to cost you anything. If you can come, great. If not, you can be
yeah,
on the
exactly.
planning committee for our 45th.
Yeah, exactly that. So I'll be nice, but we all have access to the
You'll be
same
nice.
information.
You're fine. You'll be fine.
And
I just, it's different when it's costing a lot of time and money,
yeah,
but we're not in that situation. We're going to a football game
yeah,
and we're gonna meet at the park to have a picnic. Come on,
yeah.
guys. It's
And
not
then
that
just one
difficult.
last thing, for people that might come in on Saturday, I'm going to talk to Frank. I've kind of sent him a message about it already, about Sunday, for people that might be staying over to Sunday. We have some great local restaurants out there, and people could
Mm.
maybe do a sign up for "Let's Meet for Brunch."
Oh,
And
that's a great idea.
because I know Anna's amazing, and she's not gonna be able to make the 20th or the 21st. So that gives her an opportunity. And I'm sure there's a lot of people like her that might want to do Friday night and then Sunday morning. So
Right, right.
I love
Yeah.
you guys. I love the way you're thinking. It just feels so easy, and
It needs to be easy. Yeah, for
people need
All
it.
right. Brian, are you gonna send out the flyer for Facebook? Who's in charge of that?
You know what? I'll be happy to do that. I can do graphics and things like that, because it seems like people's attention spans are about 8 seconds. So if I can do an 8-second grab, I'll do that. Um,
Okay.
Michelle, if you come up across anything or ideas where you need money, please let me know. I can check into Kinko's for maybe the banner for the event. And I'll follow up with Frank on the restaurants. I don't know how to put together a spreadsheet, which I
I
I
should.
can do
do.
that.
I can do that too. So
Okay,
I'm Microsoft Office.
okay. So
Yeah, I did.
it might not be a bad idea to have a sign up sheet for people that want to go or are interested. We'll create the event. I can create the event. Nancy made me a temporary admin, so I can create the event on the Facebook page.
Yeah, and then people will click that button interested.
And then
Okay, and that's
yeah,
probably the best way to do it.
yeah,
I don't know. I know there's ways to like set up a text. I don't know how to do that though.
I
I'm
don't know
not
how to
that
do
tech
that.
savvy. Ask one of the younger folks or people who have teenagers at home. How do I do?
I don't
I
know.
don't have teenagers at home anymore, so.
I don't know how
But
to-
also, are we going to, because you had mentioned, and we've done, because I have a niece that plays in the band, so we've gone to a couple of games, to see her over the last couple of years. And we did go online to buy our tickets, but I don't know that they were like reserved or anything, but you know, we probably want to. Did I lose you? Oh,
No,
sorry.
I can hear.
We probably want to include the link for people to get their tickets. I can send you that, Brian. I know I have it
Okay.
somewhere.
For the
I
football.
think that's a great idea because it's homecoming. It might have limited, access
right.
to the stadium. What
Um,
about, but if we get a ticket, we're not committing to all sitting together, right?
I don't
Or
think so.
just, okay, all right.
I
No,
don't know
but
how they do it at the. I don't know how they do it at the.
it's
football.
not reserved. It's just they want you to have your ticket. You have to go online and get it so that when you go, you're not, it's
In line.
cashless, you just show them, let me
That's a good
see.
idea. I think that's a great idea.
They
I
want
will
to
see if
avoid-
I can.
They want to
I'll-
avoid things like, remember when we had Sanger Great Bowl Festival? That was so much fun. By the way, my oldest brother was one of the ones responsible for why we never had it again after that great big fight. You can tell him I said so, but he won't hear you, so he won't be offended. He'll just sit there and smile and laugh.
That's
But
hilarious.
yeah, my oldest brother was one of the participants that made us never have a Sanger Great Bowl.
Wow.
Another reason for me to be resentful towards my older brother.
Who's your brother? Who
That's
is your
hilarious.
brother?
Well, Mike Redfern's the oldest. He graduated 77. Then my brother Don graduated 79. And then Dad said that I was an accident, graduated in 84. But he also said he was grateful that he had the accident. So
Aw.
So my brother Tony probably knows your brother who graduated in 79.
probably Don played football.
Don Redford.
Yeah, he was pretty well
Okay.
liked by a lot of folks.
I'll have to mention it to him.
He still lives
All
in,
right.
so
I actually have to drop off,
okay.
but
See.
okay, I'm gonna go ahead and inquire about a DJ and a band in the chance that nobody in our class is interested in playing. But I think that should be first choice.
Yeah,
I
I
think
like that idea.
Yeah, getting to see somebody in our class, just put themselves out there. Hopefully they're good.
If they're not, I think we probably group to it anyway.
Oh my gosh, that
Please
would be so
please
funny.
throw Vicky in your car and bring her. I can't, well, shit, I'm not gonna be
I
there.
will. No, you know what? I'm in touch with Vicky, and so it's Alicia and Yu. So she'll go. I know she will.
One of my favorite memories of Vicky Martinez, she had that big long car, right? And all the girls would pile into it
Yeah, that would be
at
me
lunch, and it would drive down the road like this, and it'd go
Uh,
with Neller
I,
Ramirez and Jovina Gonzalez.
I recently had dinner. Well, not recently. It's been several months now, but I try to go out with Vicky and either have a drink or something to eat, right?
I
And
love
so
it.
we were out together for like, I don't know, a good 2.5 hours. We finally, I think our throats were hurting from all the chit chatting we were doing. She'll go. I know she will. I mean, unless health wise she can't make it out there, but she likes seeing everybody. So I think that's a great idea.
Michelle, what do you think about me grabbing like Eventbrite and having the high school ticket in that? Because that we can broadcast, or the game ticket link in that, because that we can broadcast outside the group uh pretty easily.
Uh-huh.
And it can,
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that program, but if you are, that would be great.
okay,
I think I
I'll do
found
that.
the link to it. Can I get your phone number? I'm gonna text it to you and see if you can,
Yeah,
if
I'll put
it's
it,
Hey
right.
Brian, I'll text you my phone number and I'm here to help in any way I can. Okay.
I really appreciate you guys, because you know what?
All right.
It's so easy to want to do stuff. It's a little harder to do stuff, and then it's even harder to follow through. But I sure appreciate you both being here.
No, feel free that you can ask me and don't be, if I can do it, I'll definitely jump in and help.
Okay, Michelle, I threw it into the
I
chat.
see it. I'm gonna send
Okay.
this to you right now.
When
Can
did
I-
you live in San Diego, Brian?
What's that?
When did you live in San Diego?
Oh,
Why
I
do you
lived
have a
there
second-
twice. I went there for college, and then the Catholic guilt from mom brought me back home. You know, in my mom's family, the youngest was never, ever, ever supposed to leave home, ever. My job was to stay and take care of mom and take care of dad and do that stuff. It was cultural. But I was like, fuck that. So I went to San Diego. I was there. I was a year away from graduating and wound up coming home because the guilt was just too heavy. And then you know, after about 10 years of living back in Sanger, Fresno, I realized mom and dad are miserable by choice. I'm getting the hell out of here. So I moved back to San Diego.
You're
And now
hilarious.
I lived in San Diego from 2000 to 2012.
oh
And
wow.
up until I hit my 12th year here, San Diego was the longest place I'd ever lived, and never thought once you live in San Diego, it's like I'll never leave. You know, and they're gonna take me kicking and screaming. But you know what? I'm back, and my mom's older,
Yeah.
so I just feel blessed that I'm back home and I could
Yeah.
spend this time with my mom because I really was gone for 29 years. That's a long time.
Well,
All right,
same
folks.
city.
I'll send you
Nice to
my
see you.
number. It was nice to see you
Bye, you
too,
guys.
and I'm
Good to
sure
see you.
let's have another follow-up meeting once we make some progress, okay?
Big hugs to you both.
Sounds good.
All right,
Okay,
you
you
take
too.
care.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Michelle, thank you.
Oh, thank
I got
you.
chills up and down my back. So excited to see you. Thank you.
You as well. Thank you
I'm gonna
for
start
doing
getting
this.
emotional.
I'm so bummed that you can't make it. That's
It's
so
okay.
unfortunate.
I'll probably be phoning you, guys, and just checking in, and yeah,
That would be great.
we'll figure it out. I'll be at the next one.
All right. We're counting on it.
Okay, you take care.
All right. You too, Brian.
Give Mrs. Masakian a big hug from you if you see her.
I will. And I'll tell Kathy today. That'll make her day.
Okay, you take care.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.